All right. So in this lab, we're going to be predicting bad debt expense from customer behavior. Now we have an Excel file with 100 customer accounts, some at the enterprise level, individual, some at the small business level. And this Excel file has information of their credit scores, of their invoice amount, their account days outstanding, and it also has a write-off rate of either a 1 or a 0, 1 indicating that our records estimate that their invoice amount will be written off. So we want to start by importing the Excel file into Copilot. And you don't just want to import the Excel file, you want to make sure that Copilot recognizes the data set. And we're going to make sure it recognizes the data set by asking it to tell us how many accounts it sees. So it should say it notices 100 accounts, which is correct. So we can move on from here. The first thing we want to do is make some basic calculations. We want to average some accounts, and we'll use these averages to build visual dashboards later on. So our average invoice amount for every account is around $2,600, and the average days outstanding is about 58 days, 59 days. Now, we're not doing anything with this information yet. We're just taking these incremental steps to make sure Copilot can keep up, and then we will visualize this data and export it out into a new Excel file. And with this new Excel file, we'll be able to visualize this data and answer questions on this data. So now we're going to visualize the write-off rate by customer type. We're just going to make a bar chart showing the percentage of customers or of accounts written off, whether it's enterprise, individual, or small business account. We can see here that the enterprise accounts are more likely to be written off, or are written off at a higher proportion. So it asks us if we want to create visualizations with charts by region, and we are going to do that. We're going to create a graph showing the average days outstanding by region. We're going to see what region of the country is less likely to pay off their debts in a shorter amount of time. And as we can see here, it's pretty even across the board, but the East region, it takes the most number of days to pay off their accounts. Now, we're going to create one more visualization showing the average credit score for people whose accounts are written off and people whose accounts are not written off. Now this helps us predict which credit scores we would want to lend money to in the future. It could create a baseline to eventually reject customers who have credit scores of less than 499. Now, we're going to make sure Copilot remembers all of this data that we've asked it to analyze. So we're going to ask it to create a dashboard with all the bar charts. Now sometimes in Copilot's user interface, the dashboard is a little bit difficult to view. You shouldn't worry about that because we'll be exporting all of this into an Excel file anyways, and that will be much easier for us to visualize this data. Yeah, like I said, very difficult to use graph, but don't worry about that because we're combining all of the summaries and visualizations and the original account data into a new Excel file. And this will allow you to answer the upcoming questions. Here we are. We have the original data table with all the customer information. We have summaries of the average invoice amount, days outstanding, average credit score, and average late payments. We have the write-off rate by customer type. We have the average days outstanding by region. And we have the write-off status and average credit score. And then we have a dashboard showing the write-off rate by customer type, days outstanding by region, and the average credit score. Well, that concludes this lab.